Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'm doing a solo playthrough of Spirit Island. This is the first video in a Spirit Island double feature today. I had two different viewer requests for Spirit Island, so in this video, I will be playing as Volcano Looming High. Let's get rolling. So I'm all set up now to play Spirit Island. I'm playing Volcano Looming High, and I also had another request in addition to playing as Volcano. I had a request to use invaders. So I'm not very good at invaders. It's not something I've practiced. It's not something I typically use. So I'm using a low level, but I went with the Kingdom of Scotland. I don't even know if I've played with them before at all, and I'm going at level 2. So I'll read off in a moment what some of that means. And then again, just as a reminder, I do have all of the Spirit Island expansions to date. So that's through Nature Incarnate, including Horizons. So even though this is a Jagged Earth Spirit, you may see additional event cards or fear cards, perhaps the Blight card, some of the major and minor powers from some of those other expansions. Those might show up. So I'm playing on board C here, and I did cherry pick that board playing with Volcano. I think it's probably one of the better ones because I'm starting here in land 7, which touches a lot of other lands. So I guess what I should say about Volcano is you can only place presence in mountains. That's this first special rule here, mountain home. Your presence may only be added or moved into mountains. So this board is kind of favorable for that because between the two mountains, I can get most everywhere I need to get. That land number 1 will be the toughest spot. And to set up for mountain, you place 1 presence and 1 Badlands token in a mountain of your choice, and if there are any Dahan there, you push them out. In this case, there were no Dahan, but I chose to go here in land 7. And so let's look at some of this other volcano stuff for now. So there's 2 other special rules. One is collapse in a blast of lava and steam. When your presence is destroyed, in that land, deal 1 damage per destroyed presence to both invaders and to Dahan. And we will be destroying some presence, so that's something to keep in mind. And then the last one here is Volcanic Peaks tower over the landscape. Your power cards gain +1 range if you have 3 or more presence in the origin land. And it's fairly unusual in Spirit Island to have 3 or more presence in a single land. Usually 2 is the most that you really want or need. But you can see this second growth option here is add 2 presence at range 0. And what Volcano, if you're not familiar, is sort of famous for is this innate power here, explosive eruption. So the idea is you stack up a bunch of presence in one land, and then this is the volcano erupting, and you destroy a bunch of your presence, and the more you destroy, the more damage and other benefits you're going to gain. So it is fun to just kind of stack the presence higher and higher and higher and try and get this giant eruption. And then this other innate here, powered by the furnace of the earth, it does a couple things, but the most important is this top line here. If you have 3 mountains, then at range 0, add 1 of your destroyed presence. So you're going to be blasting through some presence on this one, but then you've got a mechanism to kind of keep some of it back on the board so you don't get completely annihilated. And then let's take a look here at the Kingdom of Scotland, who again I'm not super familiar with. So first, there's an additional loss condition called Trade Hub. If the number of coastal lands with cities is ever greater than 2 times the number of boards, the invaders win. So in this specific instance, I've only got 1 board. So I'll read that again. If the number of coastal lands with a city is ever greater than 2, then the invaders win. So if they get basically a city and all 3 coastal lands, that's an instant loss. And that could manifest a little bit differently if you're playing with multiple boards, but that's the idea in this case. And then escalation. So if you're not familiar with it, that's this little symbol here. It's on all of the level 2 cards except the coastal card. So then when you reveal that card, you've got this escalation effect. It's called Ports Sprawl Outward. So it says before exploring, on the single board with the most coastal towns or cities, add 1 town to the N lands with the fewest towns, where N equals the number of players. So we're doing algebra on these. So again, this is a 1-player game. I'm the only one playing, so let me read that back again. So when you reveal one of those cards with the escalation action. Before you do the explore, you find the one board with the most coastal towns and cities. Well, that's always going to be this board. So before exploring, add one town to one land with the fewest towns. So hopefully that makes sense. And then I said I'm going to go up to difficulty level 2. So let's read level 1. Level 1 is Trading Port. So during play in coastal lands, explore cards add one town instead of one explorer. Coastal lands invader cards do this for a maximum of 2 lands per board. I'll talk about this during play clause in just a second. And then also at level 1, you add a fear card between the levels 2 and 3 stack there. And then level 2 here, you also add a fear card to the top stack. So now we're going to have 4 fear cards to get to terror level 2, 4 to get to terror level 3, and then 3 to get to a terror victory. And this effect is called Seize Opportunity. It says during setup, add 1 city to land number 2. So I've done that here. That's why there's 2 cities here. And then it tells you to arrange this deck in a really specific way. So it said take the coastal lands card and make it the 3rd stage 2 card, and then move 2 stage 2 cards above it up by 1. So let me just show you this. The new deck order is stage 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, and this one is coastal. That's the only one that we know. 2, and then all the 3s at the bottom as usual. There's 5 of those. And we've got this reminder here, explore level 1. Explore cards out of town instead of an explorer. So that's just a little piece of cardboard you can use to cover that. That's a nice reminder. So hopefully I remember all this stuff, because again, it's not what I typically do, but that's how it works. And now we need to finish setup by revealing this first explore. This is the last step of setup. So this level 1, I said I'd come back to this Trading Port, it says during play in coastal lands, explore cards out of town instead of a explorer. So we're in setup right now. So this explore is next to this town, so they're going to explore land 6, and then land 2 is coastal, they will explore there with an explorer. This is setup, so we add an explorer to this coastal land. If this was during play, like at any point forward, like during the game, if we revealed this explorer would be replaced with a town instead. And that is the end of setup. So I'll put this here in build. And now I can start the game. So we're in the spirit phase of the first turn. And I think I'm going to start with growth option 2 to place the 2 presents. I'm going to take them both off this bottom track. So we're going to reveal a couple of elements. There's a fire and an earth. I will do my best to leave these where you can see how many I have in a land. It's kind of the fun of volcanoes, stacking them up, but you'll never be able to see what I'm doing that way. So I'm going to try it this way. Hopefully this works. Doesn't quite give the same volcano effect, but that's okay. And now I gain 1 energy per my presence track there. And now I can play 1 card. And again, as a reminder, on these videos, when I play, this is always my hand. These cards face up here to my left, to the left of the spirit board. That's in my hand. The ones that I play will be here to the right, and then I'll have a discard pile off to the side, just so you kind of know the status of all my cards. So I have a fire and an earth element, and if I have 2 of each, then I can do this first level of explosion, which could be cool. So I'm going to play Lava Flows. And that costs 1 energy, so we spend it, and I've hit my card limit, so I can't play anything else. So now we go to the fast phase, and I'm going to do Explosive Eruption. That is a fast power. It is at range 0, and I'll read this little description since this is the first time I'm doing it. It says, destroy X, where X is 1 or more, of your own presence in the target land, and this symbol here means destroyed presence. It checks how many of your presence were destroyed. This power's damage is done separately to both invaders and to Han, and the ranges below can't be increased. So this level 1, you need 2 fire and 2 earth. We've got fire, earth, and I need to destroy 2 presents. So these 2 presents are destroyed. I'll just have them off to the side of the island like this. And now it says, in 1 land within range 1, do X damage, where X is the number of presents I destroyed. So I destroyed 2 presents. Within range 1, I can do 2 damage. So I could do that here to take out the town, but I could also do it here to take out the explorer, prevent the build. If I do that, it will take out the Dahan as well. But I'm thinking I could use this 1 damage. This is range 1. I could use it here, and with the Badlands, take out that town as well. So I've got a couple different routes I could go, and I think I really would rather go after that sand, if I'm being honest. So I am going to, this is a hard choice. Yeah, I'm going to go after the sand and be done with it. I'm going to do 2 damage here. So it's done to both invaders and Dahan. So we lose a Dahan, but the explorer's gone. That may have been a fateful move, but we'll see. And that's it for the fast phase. So now we work through all of this stuff. And again, we go through alphabetical order. So it starts with Blight, then it goes to Event, then Fear, and then Invader. So Blight, we have not revealed the Blight card. Event, this is turn 1, so we burn the first event. This one is Promising Farmland and New Cash Crops Take Hold. Then we go to Fear. I have no earned Fear cards, so now we go to the Invader deck. We Ravage Nowhere. Then we build in the sand. So this sand is empty. This one we're just going to get rid of the disease token. And now we're going to explore in the wetlands. So, I'll fix that deck. Okay, explore in the wetlands. And luckily, neither of these is coastal. So from here, we'll explore this one and this one, which means it didn't really matter, I guess, if I, which of these 2 places I did that volcano, because they would have explored both wetlands either way. So I could have kept that Dahan alive, but at the same time, there would be a town there now. So I don't know. I think it's fine. So now we've done this, so we can slide these down. So next they will ravage in the sand, build in the wetlands, and explore somewhere level 2. So it won't be the coastal card, but it could be anywhere. And now we're in the slow phase, so I can play this Lava Flows card. So within range 1, target any land. I can either add a bad land and a wilds, or I can do 1 damage. And I wouldn't mind doing the 1 damage here with the bad land to take out this town, but I kind of want to prevent this build, I think, so I should probably use it at range 1 to take out one of those explorers. So I think I'm going to do that in land 8, take out that explorer, prevent a build back there. Let's try and cover the back part of the island. I think that's going to be important. And so now we're in time passes, so this card is discarded. Maybe I'll turn it like this. And there's nothing on the island to heal. So now we're back to the spirit phase. And I'm going to start by taking growth option 2 again. I'm going to take 2 presents off the top, and they go at range 0. So I'm going to put them right back here to make it possible to do another eruption. And now I gain 2 energy. So here they are. And again, I have 1 card play. And I'm going to play Rain of Ash. That costs 2 energy, so we'll spend these 2 energy. And now if we check our elements, we have 2 fire and 3 earth. So that is enough. Put some reminders here. I can unlock the first level of explosive eruption again, but also with the 3 earth, I've unlocked the first tier of powered by the furnace of the earth, which is important. So we start with the fast phase, and the only fast power I have is explosive eruption. So again, I'm going to have to destroy 2 presents here, and now within range 1, I can do 2 damage, and I'm going to do that here in land 7. So that'll be 2 damage, technically plus 1 for the Badlands. So 3 damage to this town. So that generates 1 fear. And that's it for the fast phase. So now we go through this part. No blighted effects. So next is the event. And we are at technically stage 2 is next. So we're here, local diaspora. So this says, in the single land with the most invaders, this could be land 2, push 1 explorer/town to each adjacent land. Well, there's only 1 explorer/town to push, and I'm going to push them here into land 5 to try and keep things a little consolidated. Although, looking at this next step, if I instead push this explorer here, I can gain a fear for that. So yeah, I think I will do that. So yeah, this next step is each beast generates 1 fear if invaders are present, and moves to an adjacent land if not. So I'll go ahead and generate 1 fear. I would like to have that because I've got extra fear cards in the deck here. And finally, we have Forsake the Barren Land. On each board, push 2 Dahan from a land with Blight to a land without Blight. So I'm going to have to push these 2 Dahan out of land 5. Let's push them here into land 4. Since there's an explorer there now, I think that makes sense. And so that's it for the event. There are no fear cards to redeem, so we go to the invader deck. First, we're going to Ravage in the sand. We've got 6 damage here, so that's going to be a blight for sure. I wasn't even trying to stop that. There's plenty going on. The other sand is empty. Now we build in the wetlands. This one is empty, and in this one we'll build a town. Here we go. And finally, we have a level 2. So we're going to explore the sands, and this is the escalation symbol here. So let's check this again. So ports spread outward. Again, this is before doing the explore action. On the board with the most coastal buildings, which will always be this board, add 1 town to 1 land with the fewest towns. So basically I just need to add a town to a land without a town. So I'm going to do that here in land 4, which went from being very empty to having a lot going on. Now I do the explore. So now I explore in the sands, and this sand is coastal. This sand is adjacent to a building. So this one gets an explore. But this one, due to the first effect, we're during play now. So in a coastal land, explore adds a town instead of an explorer. So we're going to put a town there in land 2. And now we can shift these cards down. So this level 1 sand is discarded. Next, they will ravage in the wetlands and build in the sands. And then we've got another level 2 card coming up after that. So we'll have that escalation effect again. So now we're in the slow phase, and I've got 2 things I can do. First, I can add one of my destroyed presents at range 0. So I've only got one place I can go. That's right here. But that's nice to get that back on the board. And then secondly, at range 1, I think I'm going to target this land here, land 4. It says 2 fear if invaders are present, which they are. So 2 fear, that's going to generate my first fear card. Okay. Second, push 2 Dahan and 2 explorers or towns to lands without your presence. So they can go to different places. And I'm going to push the 2 Dahan back into land 5. And then I'm going to push this explorer and town, I think, both into land 2 probably. Although maybe there's no benefit to pushing those Dahan up there, but I do have to push them somewhere. It's not push up to 2. So maybe I'm better off pushing them down here into land 3, although that scares me too, because that's like the one other place I might get presents, and I don't want to destroy all the Dahan. Yeah, really, I'd like to get them up to land 1, but I don't see a way to do that. So I guess I'll keep them here in land 3. That's probably a good place for them. So now I've done all my slow powers. Now we go into time passes. So this gets discarded. There's nothing here to heal. And now we're in the spirit phase of round 3. So let's clear these markers. So I'm going to take growth option 3 this time. So it's kind of a big one. Let's do some of the easy stuff. Let's gain 2 energy. That's part of the growth step. It has nothing to do with that track yet. Just gain 2 energy. I get 1 extra card play this turn, and I gain a power card. So let's gain a minor power and see if we can't get anything with fire or earth on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll lay those out so we can look at them. Savage maw beasts, gnawing root biters, sucking ooze, and like calls to like. And I kind of like gnawing root biters. The ability to push these towns around is really nice, but I think I'm going to go sucking ooze. 1, the cost is good. They both have earth, so that doesn't really differentiate them, but this one allows me to isolate target lands. It's just the target has to be a sand or a wetland, but isolating sands or wetlands might be really helpful. I can even isolate that land. So yeah, that could be really useful for me to prevent explorers and other issues. So these get discarded. We'll just put them over here. And this goes into my hand. So I've taken my card, I've taken the energy, I have +1 card play, and now I can add a presence at range 4. And so I think I'm going to take that presence from my bottom track, and I will add it over here in the other mountain, because I think ultimately I'm going to have to build this one up and do a big explosion to take out everything going there in land 2. That's kind of the way I see this going. So now we gain energy, and so my presence track says I gain 2 more energy. So that gets me up to 4. And now I can play 2 cards plus 1 card play this turn. So I can play 3 cards. And look at this. This costs 3 energy and 1 and 0. And I have 4 energy. So I spend all the energy and I can play all 3 of these cards. That's kind of cool. And then if we check elements, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 earth and 1, 2, 3 fire. So I definitely meet the 3 earth threshold and the 3 fire threshold, not the 4 earth, 4 fire though. I'm 1 fire short. So I get the first 2 tiers of this one. On this one, I actually have enough for the second tier, 3 fire, 3 earth, but you'd have to destroy 4 presents in your origin land, and I don't have a land where I can do that, which is too bad because that would generate 4 fear as well, which would be really great. So I don't think I'm going to do an eruption this time, even though I could do either the first level or second level, just because I'm going to try and maybe build up and do a bigger one here later. But we are in the fast phase now, and these 3 power cards are all fast, so I can do those in any order. And we'll start with this one, Exaltation of Molten Stone. So this one normally targets another spirit, but I'm in a solo game, so I could target myself, and I will. This says split 1 energy per fire you have between yourself and target spirit as evenly as possible. So we've already established I have 1, 2, 3 fire, so split 3 energy between myself and the target spirit as evenly as possible. So I've got to target myself, so I'm just going to gain 3 energy. So 1, 2, 3. And then target spirit, me, gains +1 range with their powers that originate from mountains. So all of my powers will originate from mountains because that's the only place I have present. So I have +1 range now the rest of this turn. So I'm going to do Pyroclastic Bombardment next, range 2 from a sacred site. And I can do from here, so I can really have range 3. And it's I'm going to target this wetlands here. So 1 damage to each town, city, and Dahan. So there's 1 town here, do 1 damage. Now, do 1 damage anywhere. I will do that to this town and take it out, so that generates a fear. And then 1 damage to Dahan, and there are no Dahan there, so that's good. So now that I've gotten rid of that town, I'm not worried about the Ravage, and this won't be a source of exploration. And now I'm going to play Sucking Ooze. I must target a sand or wetland at range 1. And I have +1 range. I'm going to target land 6 here. It says 2 fear if invaders are present, and they are, so I gain 2 fear. And isolate the target land. So I will use this token for its intended purpose. This land is isolated, so even though they're about to build there, this will also not be a source of exploration for all these lands around it. So that is definitely helpful. And that is all my fast powers. So now we go into this part. We don't have a blighted island, at least not yet. So now we draw the next event card. We're at terror level 1, so we have Resourceful Populace. So this says, for the rest of this turn, after an action destroys 1 or more towns or cities, add 1 town to an adjacent land. If there are no adjacent lands, for example, due to isolate, don't add anything. Okay, I don't think I'm destroying any more towns or cities this turn, so that worked out. I'm glad that won't be adding more stuff, because I don't need more towns. Next, we have Virulence Among Close-Packed Homes. On each board, add 1 disease to the inland land with the most towns or cities. Unfortunately, I just got rid of all of the inland towns and cities, so there are no disease tokens to be added. And then we have Offerings of Story and Season. Each spirit with at least 3 Dahan among all of its lands gains 1 energy and may reclaim 1 card. And when you know it, I've got 4 Dahan among my lands, so that's kind of nice. So I gain 1 energy. There we go. And I may reclaim 1 card. That part is not super helpful because I figured I would be doing a reclaim turn next time anyway, but I suppose I'm probably going to be gaining a power card here, and then I can maybe do this. I could get a few more power cards and put that off, or I can even gain a card, reclaim a card, play 2 cards, and add 2 presents. That could be very good. So what card would I want to get? What was that first one I played? Maybe that one, where I could just do 1 damage at range 1 in the slow phase. That's very helpful to prevent builds. Although I'll probably make this a sacred site. If I grab this, I could do, well, just a little damage there, not as much as I'd like. But then again, this one could add Badlands and Wilds. I think I'm going to take this one. That would be nice to have. Let's grab Lava Flows back. Okay, that was the end of the event. Now we go to Fear. I have earned 1 Fear card. We're in level 1, so each player removes 1 Explorer from an inland land. Oh, that's great. So let's get this one, and now we don't have to worry about that build. That's fantastic. Okay, that was very helpful. Now we're in the Invader steps. We're going to Ravage in the Wetlands. This 1 Explorer does 1 damage. Nothing happens. All done. Now we build in the sands, and we won't be building here, which is great. Are there more towns than cities? 2 towns, 2 cities? No. So we add a town. So that's pretty built up, but you know what? It's all pretty well contained as well, so it's not too bad. Now we're going to explore somewhere. the jungles, and we have the escalation effect first. So somewhere on this board, we need to add a town to a land without any towns. And I think maybe let's go here in this jungle where there's at least a beast. Maybe we can do something useful there. Oh, but now we're going to explore the jungle, so maybe that's not what I want to do. Well, I guess I don't like it, but let's put it in the wetlands since that's already ravaged. Hopefully it won't come up again, but it certainly could because we have a level 1 card next. So anything could... Oh, that's a level 1 though. I don't know. We'll go with the wetlands. So now we got to explore the jungles. And so this jungle gets an explorer, but this coastal jungle gets a town. And that is, again, because of the Scotland level 1 rule. Now we shift these cards down. So wetlands is done for now. We're going to ravage in the sands next, build in the jungles, and explore somewhere. And it will not be wetlands or sand because it's a level 1 card. So it could be back-to-back jungle, which would be bad, or it could be mountain, which I don't really like that either. But now we're in the slow phase. I've got 1 slow power. It's powered by the furnace of the earth. So first I do have 1, 2, 3, 4 earth. So I can add one of my destroyed presents at range 0. So let's do that here. And now, importantly, this is part of the reason I didn't take back this card, because I would not have 3 fire at this point anymore. 1, 2, 3. I needed to keep these out here. So I've got 3 fire. I can spend 2 energy to gain a power card. So let's do that. Let's spend 2 energy. And I think I'm going to go for 1 more minor power card, and then I might be in a position where I can start looking at majors. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we'll go on this side, sure. So we've got dry wood explodes in smoldering splinters. That sounds on brand for me. Weep for what is lost. Inflame the fires of life, and veil the night's hunt. And so none of these have an earth element, but 3 of them have fire. This is the only one that can do anything at range 2, which would be helpful because this land is range 2 from the only 2 lands I can be in. And now there's a town there that will probably add a city. So I'd like to be able to deal with that, but I don't have a good way right now. So I'm going to take Weep for what is lost because I think that's just going to be an easy way to generate a bunch of fear. And that would certainly be helpful in progressing the game. So that is the end of this power, and that is the end of the slow phase. So now we're in time passes. So these cards are discarded. Let's get these markers back. And interestingly, I was going to do a reclaim because we are now in the spirit phase of turn 4, I believe. I was going to reclaim, but now I've got 2 cards. So I can just do this again. I can do growth 2, get a couple more presents off the board. That would be probably very helpful. And I think I'm going to take them both off the top track, even though I'd like to get here and get this fire element. If I think I'm going to do a major before long, like I want to start building up some energy. So I'm going to take 2 presents off the top track, add them both there at range 0, and now I gain 4 energy. So we're going to start stockpiling energy to do something cool. And now I can play up to 2 cards, and I have 2 cards. They're both slow. They cost 0 and 1 energy, so we're paying 1 total. And now we're in the fast phase. So let's count elements. I've got 1, 2, 3 fire. I've got 1, 2, 3 earth. So I could theoretically do this second tier of explosive eruption if I destroyed all of that presence, which that would be a bit much. I don't want to do that. Really, there's nothing to be gained by doing the volcano explosion right now. I think I want to build it up a little bit more. So I'm just going to pass on this explosive eruption. I have no more fast powers, so now we go to this part. There is no Blighted Island effect, so we go to the event. And we're at terror level 1, so we have this top part, terror spikes upwards. If you have any earned fear cards, which we do not have any earned fear cards, we would resolve the first one now as if the terror level were 1 higher than it currently is, and then discard it. We're not doing that, so otherwise, 1 fear per player. So we gain 1 fear, and that actually earns us a fear card, and that's okay. So this goes back up like that. And now we have secure settled territory. And I see we've got the Badlands symbol on this. So I'm pretty sure that is only on event cards that came with Nature Incarnate. So this must be one of the newer ones. So this is on each board in a land with Badlands or beasts, add 1 town or city, destroy 1 Badlands or beast, and 1 damage to Dahan, and then do 1 damage. So that's a lot. Let me wrap my head around. So on each board, so this board, in a land with either Badlands or Beast, so it's got to be land 7 or land 4. And keep in mind land 4 is about to build. Oh, I misread though. In a land with either badlands or beasts and having a town or city. So the two lands with badlands and beasts don't have towns or cities. I've got three lands with towns or cities, but none of them have badlands and beasts. So if you have a combination of those, then you destroy one of the tokens, 1 damage to Dahan, and then do 1 damage. So I don't have a place to resolve that, so I can ignore it. But okay, that was kind of interesting. And then War Among the Dahan. On each board, in the land with the most Dahan, minimum 2, so that's going to be land 3 here, push half the Dahan rounded down. So I need to push 2 Dahan. Let's push them back into land 4 then. So they can be here with this beast and maybe do something about this explorer who's about to build. So that was the event phase. Now we go to the fear phase, and look at that. We do have an earned fear card. So that was kind of cool. We're in Terror level 1, so it's going to be this top part. This one is Communities in Disarray. And I don't know if this one's going to be very helpful. This says cities each deal 1 less damage during Ravage, and invaders do not heal damage at the end of this turn. So, I mean, this land was going to blight anyway. It didn't really matter. You know, that 2 less damage from these cities isn't going to do much about all the other damage that they're doing. And then invaders do not heal damage. That's only useful if I'm also going to injure them, you know, quickly next turn. But I guess we'll keep that in mind. But now we go to the invader step. So we're going to Ravage in the Sand. This one is empty. This is technically now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. So that's still going to blight, and it will need to cascade. So let's blight here. And now we can cascade either to land 3, which I don't want to do because I'll lose a presence. I'm trying to build it up. I could go to land 5, but then it's going to have to cascade again. So my only other options are the 2 jungles, land 1 and land 4. And I guess I'm going to go to land 4. I'm going to cascade there, and now we have to flip the blight card. So we're at a blighted island. Ooh, 2 per player. That is not very much. I think that is going to be the end of the game for me real soon. So this one says, burn brightest before the end. Immediately, each spirit adds 1 presence to one of their lands, or removes 1 presence from one of their presence tracks, and the removed presence goes to their destroyed presence supply. So I would be able to get it back on the board eventually. But the iconography is a little weird. I wonder if this means each spirit adds 1 destroyed presence to one of their lands, or removes 1 presence from one of their presence tracks. Presence removed from presence tracks goes to the destroyed supply. Because adding a presence to one of my lands makes it seem like I can take it from my presence track. I see though. I looked it up on the FAQ, and I guess like if you're playing with Wildfire, for example, when you add your presence, that actually adds more blight. So it could be disadvantageous to add the presence to the board. So where am I going to take presence here? I think from this track here, I'm going to take this presence. I'll add it to land 3. And now only 2 blight per player. Not very much. So 2 blight. There's no ongoing effect, which is nice, but I'm going to have to set this off fast because this blight is going to get way out of control. So, okay, that was the Ravage step. Now we're on Build in the Jungle, and so that's going to add a city here. So there's cities in 2 coastal lands. We're luckily not in danger of having a city here in land 3, at least not yet, and a town here in land 4. Now we're going to explore. And yeah, we're going to have back-to-back jungles. Jeez. So add an explorer here and a town due to the level 1 effect here in land 1. Boy, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this one. Shift these down. I'm still at terror level 1. This was a huge mistake playing against an adversary. But we'll figure it out. So now I'm in the slow phase, and let's count up my elements. I've got 3 fire and 3 earth. So I unlock this again. So I guess, yeah, let's... What order do I want to do this in? Let's start with Weep for What Is Lost. So range 1, target land must have blight. So I'm targeting land 2. It says 1 fear per type of invaders present. And there's an explorer, there's towns, there's cities, so that's going to be 3 fear. And push up to 1 town or explorer per blight. Oh, you know what, though? I could target land 4. It would do 1 less fear, but then when I push, I could push these into this sand. Per blight. I can push only 1 thing. Well, let's do it. Let's push 1 town here. So that gives me a good chance of clearing this. I'll probably lose it to Han, but clear this land before it builds again, and that would be nice. And then this one's interesting because I could do 1 damage at range 1, so I could take out one of these guys, and that would make this even safer and more likely to clear, but it's probably going to clear anyway. It would just save me the Dahan. On the other hand, I could pick a land at range 1 and add a Badlands and a Wilds. I kind of want the Badlands here, but it would be great to get a Wilds here to prevent this loss condition of having a city, because if they explore here, it's a coast, they'll add a town, and then if they build a city the next turn, then I'm done. Oh, and you know what? I remember this next card is the coastal card, so yeah, I am going to do that here. As much as I would like to have the Badlands in land 2, I don't want land 3 explored. That's going to destroy me. So, okay, that's lava flows. Now I'm going to do powered by the furnace of the earth. So I've got the first part, add one of my destroyed presents at range 0. So let's do that here. So I've got 6 presents in land 3 now. And now I can spend 2 energy. I will do that to gain a power card. And these are about to be discarded. Let's take all my discarded cards and at least do this so I can see the elements, because I definitely want to trigger this if I can this next turn, I think. So I've got 1 air element here. I do have a couple of air element cards out there as well. All right, so I've paid my 2 energy. Let's gain a power card. I'm taking a major now. I'm hoping this explosive eruption combined with the right major might win me the game. Might not, though. That'd be tough. Let's see what we've got. Settle into hunting grounds. Pyroclastic flow, that sounds like the one. Indomitable claim, that's a very good one. And storm swath. Let me think about this. I mean, indomitable claim is a great card because you can add a presence and defend 20. And paired with this one here, which gives me +1 range, I could reach here and defend land 3, which is pretty necessary if I'm going to survive this game. At the same time, though, Pyroclastic Flow is like specifically built for Volcano Looming High, so I kind of have to take it. So this goes into my hand, and I do need to lose a card now. And let me spread these all out so I can really look at them to figure out which one I'm going to forget. I think I'll get rid of Sucking Ooze. That one, it did its job when I needed it to. And I'll place it here off to the very... Here, I'll place it up here. This one's permanently forgotten. That one did its job when I needed it to, but now I think I'm done with it. So that was it for this power. Now we're in time passes. Let's reset this token. Nothing here needs to heal. These are all discarded, and I go into the next spirit phase for the next turn, and I'm going to pick growth option 1, reclaim all my cards. It would have been cool if I could have put that off one more time, but that would have been a lot. So now I also gain 3 energy right here, and I gain a power card. So let's take another minor. So I think I'm good with the major I have. Let's see if I can get something that helps out elementally. So we've got Terror Turns to Madness, Purifying Flame, Renewing Boon, and Pact of the Joined Hunt. And I think I have to take Purifying Flame. So it's got the fire element, it's got the air, which is somewhat helpful for this and for this. But then also, if I target a mountain or sands, I can remove a blight, and I really need blight removal. That being said, let me read this one more closely, though. Maybe that could help too. I mean, yeah, that one could be helpful, but I think Purifying Flame is the better choice in this instance. So let's take this back. And that was growth. So now I take 4 more energy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can only play 2 cards, so I've got to pick them kind of wisely. Oh, shoot. And if I've only got 2 cards and 1 fire here, I can't have more than 3 fire total, so I cannot do this eruption yet. So let's keep that in mind. The most fire I can have is 3. All right, I'm going to play... Ooh, wait, if I play Pyroclastic Flow now, I won't be able to reclaim it later. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm a little nervous. I'm trying to set up for a future turn. Set up for the next turn. Let's see if next turn is the one. I'm going to play these 2 cards. And element-wise, that gets me 1, 2, 3 fire, 1, 2, 3, 4 earth. So it's enough to do that second tier if I want to, and critically I can do this as well. So this is going to cost me a total of 2 energy, so we spend that now. Oh, wait a minute though, wait a minute. I don't need to play this one. I forgot about this special rule at the bottom. I can pair this with something else. And let's do this one. Okay, so that will cost 1 and 1. Let's spend these. And I still have 1, 2, 3 fire, 1, 2, 3 earth, so we're still okay here. Okay, man, this might just work. So we start with the fast phase, and I could go up to tier 2 on this, but I'm just going to do tier 1. Range 0, I'm going to pick land 3 here. I'm going to destroy 2 presents. 1, 2. And now in a land within 1, I could do 2 damage. So sure, let's do that here. We'll take out a town, generate 1 fear. Wait a minute though. Undo that. I was not thinking about this ravage because there is a blight there. I kind of forgot that blight was there. That is a problem. So to prevent the game from ending, I have to do that power here. It's still range 1, that's fine. I do 2 damage to these 2 explorers, 2 damage to Dahan, so we lose the Dahan. But now we won't blight or build here, and I don't have to worry about that ravage. Okay, that's it for fast power. So now we go through this. Blighted Island, there's some of these Blighted Island cards, have like an every round effect. This one does not have an ongoing effect. So now we go to the event, and let's hope that this doesn't kill me because of blight. So we're on Blighted Island. Oh, and we'll be okay. This one's called The Land's Bounty Exhausted. In lands without presence, well, we'll still be okay. Lands without presence, it only takes 1 damage to add blight instead of 2. So even better, I cleared this land. Grim Toll on each board. Choose a land with a disease token. In that land, 2 damage to invaders and 2 damage to Dahan. I don't have any disease tokens, so I skip that. And then tell the old stories. Each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among its lands, which amazingly, I do have 2 Dahan. That's not what the spirit is really all about, if that wasn't clear. But I do. I can either reclaim 1 power card or regain a unique power that I previously forgot. The only card I forgot was not unique. That was a minor, so I can't do that. And I don't really want to reclaim either of these yet because I haven't used them. So that's unfortunate, but that's okay. We'll just skip it. Although I don't know that this one's skippable. Each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among its lands either reclaims 1 power card or regains a unique power card it previously forgot. I don't think I have a choice, and that actually sucks. So that means I played one of these cards and paid the energy for it, and I don't get to do the effect. Yeah, that's terrible if I'm interpreting that right, but that's the most conservative way to interpret it. So I'm going to take Lava Flows back. Really bummed about that, but I'll keep Purifying Flame, I guess. Oh, but then I lose part of this innate, and that's not good. But I really need to get that blight back too. Boy, I am in a pickle here. Let me think. Oop, and how did that get bumped way up there? Oops. Yeah, really need this earth element here to add a destroyed presence back to here, but I also really need this to get a blight off of the board. Well, I'm playing with fire a little bit, but I'm going to take back this one, I suppose, because this gives me 2 benefits, the card benefit and the elemental benefit for this, whereas this is only going to give me 1 benefit. Just the card itself, I'll lose the elemental benefit I was gaining. So that's what I'm doing. That was a terrible event. I have no Earned Fear cards, so we go to the Invader phase now. We're going to Ravage in the jungle. Luckily, this one is empty. This one's going to do a bunch of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It only takes 1 to blight this turn. Doesn't really matter. So there's a blight. Remove this Dahan. So that was our Ravage. Now we build in the jungle. This one's empty. This one has 2 towns and 1 city, so they're going to add another city. So I don't love that. And finally, we will explore in the coast, and we knew that was coming. So again, effect number 1 here says the Coastal Lands Invader card adds a town instead of an explorer for 2 lands max per board. And we've got this wilds anyway, so the wilds goes away. We add 2 more towns. Oh boy, this is a lot. And now we can slide these down. So that jungle goes away, but they'll Ravage in the jungle again and then build in the coast. I gotta think I'm done here at this point. There's 1 more level 2 card. And now we're in the slow phase, so I've got a couple things I can do. I still have I've got 2 fire, not 3. but I do have 3 Earth, so I can add one of my destroyed presence. We'll do that at range 0. And then at range 1, I can add a Badlands and a Wilds, or I can do a damage. And I will add a Badlands and a Wilds. And it says range 1, but I forgot. Your power cards gain +1 range if you have 3 or more presence in the origin land. So my origin is here, so I'm going to make this range 2, and I'm going to reach out to here. The Wilds would have been helpful a minute ago, but the Badlands I think I'm going to need to be able to take out any of those cities. And that is all my slow power. So time passes, this gets discarded. There's nothing to heal on the island. We'll reset these markers, and we're in the next spirit phase. So what am I going to do? Well, I think I'm going to do growth option 2. I'm going to add 2 presents. I'm going to take them both from the bottom track, unlock another fire element there, because I think I'm doing okay on energy. Put them both there, so I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 presents there. And now I gain 4 energy. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I can play up to 3 cards. And I think I want to play Pyroclastic Flow. And what else do I want? I think I want to do this 3rd level of Explosive Eruption. So I'm going to need 4 fire. I've got 2 fire, 2 earth. This gives me 3 fire, 3 earth. So I need 1 more fire, 1 more earth, and 1 more air for both. Or for this, I need 1 more air. And then for this, I need 2... Oh, also 1 more air. I'm talking myself in circles. I've got 2 air here. So I've got this. And I've got 3 earth, 3 fire. So I need 1 more fire, 1 more earth, and 1 more air. Oh, man. And I really messed up. I should have taken that. I should have used that card and taken the blight back. I think I'm screwed here. Yeah, I think this is beyond repair. So I'm just going to play some cards. I'll go ahead and play this one on the off chance it can be useful. So this is going to cost me 3, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 energy. And we start in the fast phase, and I will do cards first. I'll come back to this. I don't know if I can do this. I guess maybe I can push it off another turn, but I don't think that's going to be good. So let's start with one of these. Well, you know what? All right, we'll start with Pyroclastic Flow. Range 1 from a mountain. Let's target land 2. It says do 2 damage and destroy all explorers. So let's take out the explorer. 2 damage, we'll take out 1 town, generate 1 fear. And if target land is a jungle or wetland, add 1 blight. So that prevented me from using this, even though this is range 1. My special power here means that my special rule meant I could have targeted this jungle and done a bunch of damage there. I could have done 6 damage there to take out all the cities, but I would have had to add a blight. So that would have lost me the game. So instead I targeted land 2, so I don't need to add a blight. And then I do meet this threshold. I have at least 2 fire and 2 earth and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, plenty of air. So plus 4 damage. Oh, you know what? Let's do the math a little better. Put the town back, put the fear back. That 2 damage, let's do 1, 2. And then the plus 4 damage, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Get rid of those cities. And that's 2 fear for the first city. And then 2 fear for the second city. Man, we're still on terror level 1 though. That's painful. And then add a wilds, okay? And then this one, range 2 from a sacred site. So let's hit land 1 there. 1 damage to each town, city, and Dahan. So 1 damage to that town, that town, that town, that city. And then there's a Badlands there, so we'll do 2 damage to that city. And then on top of it, 1 damage. So we'll destroy another city, 2 more fear, gets us another fear card, terror level 2. Gotta hope these fear cards are super, super helpful, or else I'm going to be done for. And Purifying Flame is going to be slow, which is a real problem, because this Ravage card right here is going to cost me the game, unless a fear card does something about it. So my dilemma now is I could partially set this off. I can do the second tier, and I would do, 4 damage here. So take out 2 towns, that'd be 2 fear, plus another 4 fear. So that would give me 1 more fear card and another 2 fear. Do I want to push the fear deck and then that gives me more hope for later? Yeah, maybe I do, because then I could still theoretically do this next time. Ooh, I don't know about that. Set this off again. I would need Rain of Ash. Oh, and Exaltation of Molten Stone. I guess I could possibly make that work. Of course, that's all supposing I survive the Ravage, and it still doesn't really help with that land back there. At that point, I kind of need this bottom tier, which is a lot, and I just don't know how I would get there. All right, I'm planning pretty far out in my head. I'm planning like 2 or 3 turns out, and I'm pretty sure this is the last turn. So let's just keep going. I guess in the expectation that this is probably the last turn, and maybe it'll give me a slightly better chance to continue on, I will do this second level. So I need 1, 2, 3 fire, 1, 2, 3 earth. Okay, I'm going to destroy 4 presents. Hurts me a little bit to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then at range 1, so we'll target this land, do 4 damage, so that'll take out 2 towns, generate 2 fear, and then also generate 4 fear. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that earns me another fear card, and hopefully those fear cards save my butt on this Ravage. So that's the end of the fast phase. No Blighted Island effect. Ooh, now we have an event. This will make or break me as well. We are blighted. Blight spreads. That sounds like it's going to end the game. Oof. On each board, add 1 blight to a land adjacent to a land with blight, which I've only got 1 left. That would end the game. So otherwise, spirits may prevent this on any or all boards by destroying 2 presents from each board to be protected. I think I have to do that. So I'm going to take out these 2 presents. And now Beast's Prowl. Each beast generates 1 fear if invaders are present and moves to an adjacent land if not. All right, so I guess we're going to go, I don't know, this way. And then Coming of Age, on each board, add 1 Dahan to an inland land with Dahan. Sure, none of that is useful for me. Now, fear cards, we have 3 of them. And we're at tier 2, tier level 2. So this one says, on each board, remove 1 explorer or town from a land with badlands, Dahan, or wilds. So let's get 1 out of this jungle. That's something. We're removing it so we don't generate any fear. So fine. I'm still losing so far. What's this one got for me? Defend 6 in all coastal lands. Invaders do not build cities in coastal lands this turn. That might just not quite do it because I've placed a Badlands in land 1. All right, let's see what else we've got. That is super helpful though. What is this last one? Each player removes 1 explorer town from a land with presence. That does not help me at all. Oh, that was so close to being useful. Shoot. So now we're going to Ravage in the jungle. And here they're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. Oh no, but that only applies to people, to Dahan and explorers, not to the land itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I am defending 6 in all coastal lands. So they do 1 damage. Where did I see that 1 damage is enough for blight? That was a previous event. Okay. So that doesn't apply anymore. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Defend 6. They only do 1 damage. It does not blight. Awesome. That is unbelievable. Okay. And now they don't Ravage here. Okay, so now we go to build. We're going to build on the coast. So we're going to build a city here. Oh, wait, but the other part. Invaders do not build cities in coastal lands this turn. And this would be a city, and this would be a city. Oh, they're not going to build. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're continuing. Holy cow, I can't believe this. All right, so we flip this over. Mountains. We've got the escalation effect. We need to add a town to a land without towns. And believe it or not, I'm going to go here and land 4 because I'm going to try and take all this stuff out before this Ravage step. All right, so we've done the escalation. Now we need to explore the 2 mountains. So land 7 is an explorer. Land 3 is coastal, so that is a town. And now we shift these down. Oh, we shift these down. Forgot about that. So that was good placement. The coastal Ravage is obviously a problem, but we're in the slow phase and I'm still alive, which is pretty neat. So let's do this. Range 1 from a sacred site. 1 damage per blight, or if you choose a mountain or sands, you may instead remove a blight. Let's remove this blight from the sands. Really need that. That was all my cards, and then I didn't even really check this. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 earth, 1, 2, 3, 4 fire, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fire. I've unlocked this whole thing, so let's just go down the list and see what it does. First, add one of your destroyed presence at range 0. We're going here. It's the only place I can go. I could gain a power card. And then I can move up to 2 of my presents from other lands to the target land. Can't do that. And then return up to 2 of your destroyed presents to your tracks. Oh, I don't know if I want to do any of those 3 things. The only thing I'm interested in is gaining a power card for 2 energy. And I don't know if I should gain a minor or a major. I think I might as well look through the major deck, because I need help. 1, 2, 3, 4, because I shouldn't even be alive right now. So let's look at these, push these up. Look at these 4 majors. We've got Entwined Power, Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm, Blazing Renewal, and Terrifying Nightmares. So let's see what we've got. And I've got to go with Blazing Renewal. That is the one that is going to make the most sense. So I take that. I've got to discard another card. Which one should go? Probably Weep for What Is Lost. That's not super helpful anymore. So this is my hand. And that is it for the slow phase. So these are discarded. Let's grab this token. These all heal, unfortunately. And against all odds, we've got another round, but we're looking to Ravage in the Coast, so that would be game ending again. So I got to end this thing super quick if I can, but with Blazing Renewal, I don't have to take growth option 2 anymore. I can take growth option 1. So let's do that. Let's add 1 presence from the bottom track here, gain an extra card play, which I don't need, gain 2 energy, and gain another power card. And let's do a minor so that I can actually have a chance of playing it this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. So Gift of Power is great, especially at the beginning of the game. I don't know that it'll be much help now because I need to end it real fast. This is the only fast power, but I can use it to great effect. How about this one? That's not bad either. And lastly, both of these are blight removal. That is really nice. This one is mountains or wetlands, so I'm only going to be able to use it once. This one is coastal. I could, if I survive, use it twice, theoretically. And crucially, that one's fast, so I'm going to take it. This is very interesting. I should be long dead, but somehow I'm still here. So this goes into my hand. And now I gain 4 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can play up to 4 plus 1, 5 cards. Of course, I've only got 4, but let's play them all since I've got them. Blazing Renewal, Cycles of Time and Tide, Rain of Ashes Slow, Exaltation of Molten Stones. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This game is unbelievable. I am having a good time. So let's count up the elements here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 earth. So that's enough for everything here, should I want it. 1, 2 air, which is enough for that 3rd tier here. And that's all I need to worry about element-wise. I'm 1 plant element short for unlocking this bottom threshold, but I don't really actually need it, so that's fine. So let's start with Blazing Renewal. Target any spirit. Let's target myself. Target spirit adds 2 of their destroyed presence in a single land, and it can be up to range 2 from your own presence. I'm just going to go here in land 3. So we add 2 presence, and if any presence was added, 2 damage to each town or city in that land. I would love to do that here, but this special rule says your presence may only be added or moved to mountains, so couldn't make it work there. But it does take out this town, which generates another fear, and I know we need the fear. And now let's do Cycles of Time and Tide, fast power, range 1, coastal land. If there are Dahan, add 1 Dahan. If there are no Dahan, remove 1 blight. And you know what? I can get +1 range because I'm targeting from here and I have at least 3 presents. So let's remove this blight from back here from that jungle, that coastal jungle. That was pretty good. This one's just going to give me energy for each fire. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 fire. So split that as evenly as possible with the target spirit. I'm playing solo, so I'm just going to take 4 energy. And then I gain +1 range with powers that originate from a mountain, which I guess that is relevant because my special rule is your powers gain +1 range if you have 3 or my power cards gain +1 range if you have 3 or more presence in the origin land. But this does not say power cards. This is just target spirit gains +1 range with their powers that originate from a mountain. So I would argue this can get +1 range. But specifically, I guess it's talking about this range. It needs to be range 0 and then destroy presence. So I guess I'm not really gaining anything. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. I think I need to. So destroy 6 presence. 1, 2, 3, 4, lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Destroyed 6 presence. So I've got exactly 1 presence left on the island. That's precarious. And we start at the top. So in one land, within range 1, do X damage, where X is the number of presence I destroyed. So pick one land in range 1 and do 6 damage. And this won't really matter, I guess. So I'll pick this land, right? Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take out 3 towns. So 1 fear, get a card. 2, 3. And then the next step is for each presence I destroyed, 1 fear. So that's going to be 6 more fear. 1, 2, another fear card. 3, 4, 5, 6, another fear card. We're at terror level 3. So if I can just destroy that one darn city, I could win. What else have we got here? This last part, in each land within range 1, 4 damage. So that's only going to be this land here, but that's another fear. We're taking out the town. And then add 1 blight to the target land. Doing so does not destroy your presence. So the target land is my origin. So I add a blight there. And I can't believe this. I think I am going to keep going. This is like blowing my mind, this playthrough. So that was fast powers. We go to Blighted Island effects. There are none. We go to the event. This is where I make a mess of my pants. Let's see what this is going to be. I'm at terror level 3 now. So reprisal against the Dahan. On each board, choose a land with Dahan and buildings. There is no option on this board. What would I have done? Invaders do 3 damage to Dahan there, ignoring defend powers. So I am not playing a real Dahan-centric spirit, so that didn't affect me. Now, beasts attack. Each beast does 2 damage. Remove any token that destroys a town or city. So 2 damage here will remove a town. Remove the beast as well, and that generates 1 more fear. How many cards are left here? 3? Yeah, 3 more. So I'm still a ways from a fear victory. But hopefully these cards will save my butt again. But anyway, Reckless Offensive. On each board, choose a land with at least 2 Dahan and at least 2 buildings. Again, I have no option. Each Dahan would destroy 1 town or city there and then add a blight. That would have been nice. But now we move on to fear cards. And I've got 3 of them. And we're at terror level 3. So let's check down here. Destroy all explorers in lands with towns or cities. Each city destroys a town in its land. So I've got 2 explorers on the board, but there's no buildings in either of their lands. But now a city destroys a town, and that does earn me a fear. So I'll take it. That one was scapegoats. Next is depopulation. On each board, remove 1 town or replace 1 city with a town. Well, I will take option 2, thank you very much. Replace a city with a town. And that is the end of the effect of this card. We're at terror level 3. There are no cities on the board. I can't believe it, but I just won. That's amazing. Let's take a look at the last fear card, though, because I'm just curious. This was civil unrest. On each board, add a strife. Each invader takes 1 damage per strife it has. Okay, well, depopulation did it. That was incredible. I was pretty surprised because if this Ravage came up, I was at a point where this would blight, but I could take the blight and survive. It was not going to cascade, and I was only going to get the 1, and then I would move on to the next round, although we were at this level 3 card. So there you go. Not much presence left on the board, but this is a victory, and that was a wild, wild ride. I cannot believe I pulled that off. There was a lot of luck involved. some bad luck, but most of it good, mostly good this time. So that was a little bit longer playthrough in real time. The video will probably be not too bad, but that one burned my brain a little bit. So hopefully you enjoyed. You watch, excuse me, as I talk about brain burn. Hopefully you enjoyed Volcano Looming High against Level 2 Kingdom of Scotland. You know, I've mentioned before, I really, really like Spirit Island. It's one of my top tier favorite games, but I don't find that I'm especially good at it. I'm okay, but you know, I'm not one of those folks who's like taking multiple adversaries at the same time and putting them both at level 6. Like I'm not that good at this game, but I still enjoy it, and hopefully you enjoyed watching this as well. So that was again by two viewer requests, one for Volcano and one for just using an adversary. And again, I've released 2 Spirit Island videos today. I had another request to play Spirit from Nature Incarnate, so I've done that. And I used a spirit that does have an Incarnate token, so you can check that out as well. Yeah, let me know what you think of this playthrough in the comments. And do you have any other matchups you would like to see? Are there any other spirits that I have not played yet that you would like to see on the channel? I got a really good response to the last Spirit Island video that I put up, so that's why I'm doing the double feature today. And maybe I should get Spirit Island on the channel more. I don't know. You let me know. If you liked it, leave a like on this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. You can always share this video with somebody else who might like it. Be sure to comment, and then don't forget about my Ko-fi page. That's ko-fi. There's a link in the description. It's kind of like Patreon, but I don't have any membership stuff. I don't have tiers. I don't do early releases. I don't do paywalls. Everything is released on YouTube at the same time for everyone, and the Ko-fi page is just a way for folks to help me keep the channel running if that's something you want to do, because it does take a tremendous investment in time, of course, but also monetarily. So anything you can do would be very appreciated. But that's what I've got this time on Table for One. Thank you so much for watching. I had a blast. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I will see you in the next video. Take it easy.